As Thomas Jefferson once said, "The laws that forbid the carrying of arms disarm only those who are neither inclined nor determined to commit crimes." Imagine, if you will, a young nation, newly independent, brimming with the spirit of liberty. The Founding Fathers, in their wisdom, recognized the crucial role that an armed citizenry would play in safeguarding this liberty. Consider the words of James Madison, the father of the Constitution himself, who declared, "The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed." He understood that the potency of a free society lay in its capacity to defend itself, not just from foreign threats, but from the potential overreach of its own government. George Washington, a man who led armies before he led a nation, firmly believed in this principle. A free people ought not only to be armed, he said, but they should have sufficient arms and ammunition to maintain a status of independence from any who might attempt to abuse them. Then there's Benjamin Franklin, a man known for his wit and wisdom, who stated, "They that can give up essential liberty to obtain a little temporary safety deserve neither liberty nor safety." This quote, though not directly about guns, embodies the essence of the Second Amendment. It's about preserving liberty, about maintaining the balance of power between the government and its people. Now let's step back for a moment and reflect on the time period in which these men lived. Yes, firearms back then were not as advanced as they are today, but it's worth noting that the founders were aware of the existence of weapons like the puckle gun, a firearm far superior to the common muzzle loaders of their time. They knew that technology would advance, that firearms would evolve, yet they still stood firm on the importance of the Second Amendment. Thus, it's clear that the Second Amendment was not merely an afterthought, but an integral part of the founders' vision for America. From the muskets of the 18th century to the automatic rifles of today, firearms have evolved drastically. But does this change the essence of the Second Amendment? Let's delve into this. When the founders penned the Second Amendment, they lived in a world where muskets and flintlock pistols were the weapons du jour. Simple, single-shot devices that were as much a tool as they were a means of protection. But it's important to remember that our forebears weren't oblivious to the potential for firearm advancements. In fact, one of the most interesting examples of early firearm innovation is the puckle gun. Invented by James Puckle in 1718, this was a weapon that was a significant stride above the standard muzzle loaders of the day. The puckle gun was, in essence, an early version of a machine gun. It was capable of firing 9 shots per minute, a rate of fire that was unheard of at the time. This invention predates the writing of the Second Amendment by over 70 years. So the idea that the Founding Fathers couldn't possibly have foreseen the evolution of firearms is, quite frankly, a bit short-sighted. They were living in an era of rapid technological advancement, and they were well aware of this. As we move through history, we see firearms continue to evolve. The 19th century brought us the Colt revolver, the Gatling gun, and the Maxim gun. The 20th century gave us the Thompson submachine gun, the M16, and the AK-47. Each of these advancements changed the face of warfare and personal defense, but did they change the essence of the Second Amendment? The founders believed in the right of the people to keep and bear arms. Not just muskets, not just flintlocks, but arms. They understood that technology would progress, that firearms would become more efficient, more powerful. But they also believed in the principle of an armed citizenry, a principle that transcends the type of weapon used. So, as we can see, the founders were not naive about the potential for advancements in firearms. Their belief in the Second Amendment was not tied to a specific type of weapon, but to the principle of an armed citizenry. Understanding the founders' vision and the evolution of firearms, we now question, what does the Second Amendment mean for us today? In the world of today, where technological advances are as swift as the changing wind, the relevance of the Second Amendment has been questioned. However, let's not forget, the Second Amendment was not penned with a particular firearm in mind, but rather the principle of self-defense and the preservation of liberty. It's a testament to the foresight of our founders, who recognized the need for citizens to protect themselves and their rights. In the same way that the words of Shakespeare still hold meaning centuries later, the Second Amendment maintains its relevance. It's not just about the right to bear arms. It's about the right to defend oneself, one's family, and one's country. It's about the balance of power between the government and the governed, a balance that remains as vital today as it was back in the late 18th century. We also must remember, Our founders were aware of the advancements in firearm technology, even in their own time. They witnessed the evolution from simple matchlock muskets to the more advanced flintlock firearms and even the puckle gun, a precursor to the machine gun. They understood that times would change, technology would evolve, but the principles they laid down would endure. The progress in firearm technology does not diminish the tenets of the Second Amendment, but rather reiterates its importance. In a world where threats are not only physical but digital, where the lines between peace and conflict can blur, the right to bear arms serves as a reminder of our inherent right to self-defense and freedom. Today, the Second Amendment stands as a beacon of our founders' wisdom, a testament to their vision of a free and democratic society. It is not just a relic of the past, but a living, breathing part of our Constitution, as relevant today as it was over 200 years ago. Therefore, the Second Amendment, rooted in the wisdom of the founders and resilient through centuries of change, continues to be a cornerstone of our democracy. In the words of George Washington, a free people ought not only to be armed, but disciplined. We've journeyed through the origins of this belief, from the minds of our nation's founders to the evolution of firearms over centuries. We've probed the depths of the Second Amendment, understanding its significance as a cornerstone of democracy and a safeguard against tyranny. We've seen how the puckle gun, a mechanism far superior to muzzle loaders, existed even during the founders' era, debunking the notion that they couldn't have foreseen advancements in firearm technology. We've also explored the continuing relevance of these constitutional rights in today's world. Our exploration leads us to one fundamental truth. The Second Amendment isn't merely about the right to bear arms, but about protecting the freedom and security that defines our nation. As we reflect on the words of our founders and the journey of firearms, we understand that the Second Amendment is not about the right to own a specific weapon, but the freedom and security of our nation. After all, a well-armed citizenry is the best defense against tyranny. Dear viewers, as we draw to a close, we extend an invitation. Stand with us, support Gun Owners of America, or GOA. This no-compromise gun lobby in Washington, D.C. fights for our Second Amendment rights. Your backing can make an impact. Donating to GOA can help preserve these rights, ensuring the nation's freedom and security. Discover more and contribute at our website. Every penny, every voice matters. Can uphold the vision of our founders with your support. Thank you for standing with us to preserve the Second Amendment. Together, we can make a difference. Now we urge you to take action, a call for your contribution to the cause. Please make a donation to the Gun Owners of America today. Your financial support could between the preservation and erosion of our Second Amendment rights. To donate, click on the link or button appearing your screen now, or visit our website mentioned in the description. Every dollar counts. Thank you again for your support and standing with us in this critical fight.